Day one on a new project site usually looks like organized chaos, but when coordination slips, that chaos turns costly. An excavator hits an unmapped water main, and suddenly you are dealing with delays and budget overruns before the foundation is even poured. To manage these exact risks, major international financing institutions rely on the FIDIC Red Book 1999. It is the global standard for construction contracts, where the employer provides the design. You will typically see these contracts in large-scale, multinational developments. In these projects, regional development banks act as the oversight bodies, ensuring funds are protected by strict procedural rules. Within this book is a specific 4-clause framework designed to protect both the contractor and the employer. It governs exactly how to handle site handovers, verify subsurface data, and manage hidden physical conditions. Winning under these rules requires a shift in mindset. You must transition from a physical worker to a forensic documenter on the very first day. Step 1 is assessing the environment you are about to inherit. You need to categorize your site into one of two main profiles, greenfield or brownfield. A greenfield site offers wide open access. The primary risks here involve heavy earthworks and potential environmental disruptions to the untouched landscape. A brownfield site is the exact opposite. Here, you work within restricted access windows and face a high probability of clashing with existing urban infrastructure. Look at this table from the appendix to tender. Under Subclause 2.1, right of access to the site, the employer is legally mandated to give you possession by the date specified right here. If you step onto that site without documenting its current state, you risk inheriting liability for any pre-existing damage left by others. To prevent this, schedule a joint inspection with the engineer immediately. Take baseline photographs of everything and sign a formal handover certificate before any heavy equipment rolls in. By executing Subclause 2.1 properly, you establish a clear, hard legal boundary between the employer's previous possession and your new responsibility. The employer will provide subsurface data during the tender phase. However, under Subclause 4.10, the legal responsibility for interpreting that data falls entirely on the contractor. The contract applies the standard of an experienced contractor. This means you are expected to verify the site conditions thoroughly before you can claim that an obstacle was unforeseeable. The safest approach is to conduct your own independent geotechnical baseline surveys early on to verify the accuracy of the employer's initial borehole logs. Even with thorough surveys, surprises happen. Your crew is digging a trench, and the bucket strikes something massive, unyielding, and unmapped. This is where you trigger Subclause 4.12, Unforeseeable Physical Conditions. This is the specific contractual mechanism you use to claim additional time and cost for these events. Many contractors fail at this exact moment. They keep working to stay on schedule and ignore the paperwork. If you fail to issue a formal notice to the engineer within the strict 28-day window, you forfeit your right to claim. Under FIDIC rules, a physical discovery underground only becomes a financial recovery if you start the administrative clock immediately. Obstructions are only one part of the risk profile. You can also face significant delays if the engineer fails to issue critical design drawings or instructions on time. This on-screen calculation highlights your entitlement under Subclause 1.9, Delayed Drawings or Instructions. If the engineer's delay holds up your work, this clause grants you an extension of time, your resulting costs plus a reasonable profit, defined by the guidance as 5%. To manage this, maintain an Information Required Schedule, or IRS. This log tracks exactly what design details the engineer owes your site team and when they are legally due. If disputes over these delays and costs cannot be resolved directly on site, they are ultimately escalated to international bodies for final arbitration. To protect your position, you must build an evidence checklist. Gather timestamped photos, detailed daily logs, signed meeting minutes, formal subclause notices, the updated IRS, and your baseline handover certificate. If things go wrong, this checklist is the only bridge between a problem on the site and a successful claim in the boardroom. Let's review the steps. You categorize your environment. Enforce Clause 2.1 for strict site access. Verify the subsurface data under Clause 4.10 and meticulously document any obstructions using Clause 4.12. Following these steps turns your first day on the job from a period of high vulnerability into a strong baseline of protection. Bring that evidence checklist into every single site meeting. Make sure your contemporaneous records are accurate, filed, and always up to date. When operating under the FIDIC Red Book, the contractor who wins the project is the one who builds the most complete paper trail.